Good morning to you all. Again, welcome to our weekly briefings on the status of the census listing and enumeration exercise. We apologize for not being able to hold the briefing on as scheduled last week, and this postponement was due mainly to all our engagement in other equally important official matters. The updates on the listing as well as the enumeration are as follows. Update on the listing exercise. Regarding the status of the listing exercise, evidence from the Geographic Information System or cartography and the synchronized data show that 99% of the structures in the country have been listed. However, the census officials are working with the regional census officers to determine if the unaccounted structure are as a result of some devices experiencing syncing issues or sending data to the server. It is important to highlight that the 99% listing coverage rate for the country is an important milestone, considering that census coverages are never 100%. Update on the enumeration of households. On the status of the census enumeration, we are pleased to inform you that significant progress has been registered since our last update. As of Monday, July 1st, 2024, data synchronized from the field showed that about 98% of households across the country have been enumerated, accounting for about 96% of the total population, which translates to 2,528,456 persons. On payment of the remaining 7% to the census officials, the project implementation unit of GIVOS or HIS worker will pay the remaining 70% to the field workers as soon as they are cleared by the regional census officers, and that is, data is vetted and tablets are returned. Let me repeat this. The final payment for field workers will be done upon we being communicated from the regional census officers that they have vetted the data and they are satisfied. And also the equipment that are handed over to the census officers, that the field workers are also returned in the shape that they were given to them. As reported in the last press briefings, we still face challenges in the census. We have received reports from the field that some of the devices are experiencing syncing issues. However, the data monitors, the copy technicians, and the IT experts are working tirelessly with regional census officials to identify the affected tablets, fix these issues, or retrieve the data manually. Also, as reported in the last press statement, we are still experiencing resistance from certain cohorts of our communities and non-Gambians. The Bureau is pleased to announce that the official date for the enumeration exercise has elapsed or has expired, and that it's currently on the mopping exercise. All households not covered are kindly urged to call 1242 and get enumerated. Again, all households not covered are kindly urged to call 1242 and get enumerated. We are currently on the mopping exercise. That is, we are following on households that we are experiencing problems getting them enumerated, and we are also listening to the public to call us to identify themselves if they are not enumerated. The public is once again reminded that getting enumerated or responding to the census questions is a legal obligation. I thank you all for your kind attention. Thank you. It depends on the issue. It is, of course, they are electronic gadgets. They may have problems at any point in time, but it depends on the issue of the tablet. If it is a minor issue that, of course, not due to malhandling of the or mishandling of the gadgets, of course, we will not take any action against the person. But if we also knew that some had accidents with the tablets, of course, nobody will deliberately put yourself into that risk just because you want to damage the tablet. We know of those. We are not going to take any action against them, but we see how to recover the tablets because, as we know, these tablets are borrowed and we are supposed to return them. We will do the appropriate to ensure that the tablets are replaced. But we cannot hold the persons responsible, the persons that these tablets are given to responsible for what has happened to the tablets. But we cannot take certain chances. We can't, allow people coming to us to tell us that the tablet has been stolen. We can't take that. Definitely, you will be responsible for that. Yeah.
Maybe you can share experience around Africa regarding the COVID, because I know most of them we want to see was get to 100%. So.
Okay, thank you. This is a very simple question. One of the things we need to recognize as media is even the general people, there is no 100% census. Why? There are people whom we cannot reach within those 21 days plus 2 weeks, which the DG has indicated to. And there are people who refuse. In national statistical offices, we always discourage national statistical offices from prosecuting people who have refused, because that creates resistance over time. So we leave it up to the people to actually, volunteer to participate in a census because it's for their own good. So looking at the figures which Gambia has reached so far, or the Bureau of Statistics has reached so far, it's actually one of the excellent performances. Once you cross the 95%, and you are now reaching almost your 98%, it's an excellent, it's possibly the second highest achieved during the 2020 round. And just for the sake of you people to understand, the round of a census is a decade. We started from 2015 and it's ending in 2024. So we have 54 countries in Africa. And out of those which have actually conducted censuses so far, Gambia has the second largest number. And they can even be, at the completion of the 2 weeks, they will be possibly at parallel with the one which achieved about 99%, which is Rwanda. So I think, as I also talked to them yesterday, they are very near to that. If they manage to get to the people where the interviews have been postponed, ignore the refusals, and concentrate on those where we have the prospects of covering then obviously it is possible to reach 99%, which possibly globally, it might be just those two countries globally which have reached 99%. So I think it's one of those things we need to give a commendation to people who have been leading this process and say, achieving that level of response rate or enumeration rate, it's unprecedented. It's actually a very excellent achievement. So if I were you, I would clap for the people who have led this process. It's a significant milestone. It's a significant achievement. As I said, in Africa, it's almost reaching the highest we have ever attained during the 2020 round. So I would actually want to congratulate these guys. As I sit here as a visitor and say, I'm seeing this for the second time out of the 54 times I expected. So thank you.
We've been using the past rate, a census that is between 2003 and 2013, the growth rate. We applied that and to estimate as at now, or maybe a few years ago, what the population was likely to be. And we have found out that with the other surveys that one, our fertility rate has gone down. You know, I think we know what that means is that the rate at which our women are producing children have gone down, you know. So, and there was a lot of movement, immigration, people, especially the young ones that are, in fact, who are supposed to be very active in producing, have left the country. A lot of kids, young guys have left the country. You know, they are, but if others were also here.
You can only hear Sakataka, not
many. Not really, see.
The projected population for 2020 is 2.4 million.
So anyway, people will use anything that, I don't know, out of nowhere. I don't know where they get the data from. But what I can tell is that we are not saying that this 2.5 is the final statistics. We have reported that we have experienced some issues with the data syncing. That means there could be more data coming in. We are trying to find out, compare what we have in our servers and what we have in our individual tablets. Once we establish, then we will know whether the data has been synced or not. And this will inform us in terms of the final population of the country. Of course, based on our targets, we are also expecting something like 2.7. This was the target. This was what we expected using the growth rate. But it might be different. Like I said, a lot of things happen. Women are not producing as they used to produce. And there is a lot of movement of young people from the country. And maybe factors beyond this that I have also mentioned. Have we attracted more people, coming into the country like it used to be? Is something else, because there used to be some instability within the sub-region. A lot of people coming from Liberia, Sierra Leone, and the like. Is that happening? No. Most of these people have also migrated out of the country. But then still we expected that we would reach around 2.7. But this, as it stands now, is not the case. But like I also said, the data, we believe we have not received everything, because these are electronic gadgets, and based on our experience with other gadgets that we've looked into, there could be some pending data that has not reached this hour yet.